right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're looking into Microsoft.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Big tech?
Yeah, big tech and outages. Specifically, we're looking into a CNN article titled, Microsoft's Massive Outlook and Teams Outage Has Gone On for Hours.
Okay.
This article was published on November 25th, 2024.
Very recent.
Very recent.
Yeah.
So basically what happened was Outlook and Teams went down.
Right before Thanksgiving.
Right before Thanksgiving.
Of all time.
I know. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So many people rely on Microsoft services every single day. And
Especially those two.
especially those two, to email and to chat and to meet.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? How widespread was it? And what was the impact?
Good questions.
Well, one of the really interesting things about this is that some people saw it as a good thing.
Oh, really?
Because,
A silver lining.
a silver lining to the outage right before Thanksgiving.
I like it.
So let's dive in.
Mm-hmm.
The article mentions Down Detector reported over 5,000 user-reported issues by noon Eastern Time.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
5,000 reports.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a huge number. But how does that compare to, other big outages? I don't know if you remember, but there was one, what was it, CrowdStrike?
Oh, yeah. CrowdStrike. Yeah, that was the big
one. That was the biggest one in history, I think.
Yeah, they're calling it the biggest one.
Yeah.
It disrupted air travel and hospitals
Really?
and cost Fortune 500 companies billions of dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this Microsoft outage was big,
Yeah.
but obviously not that big,
Nowhere near that scale, thankfully.
thankfully.
Yeah.
So did they figure out what caused this whole thing?
Well, they did.
Okay.
They identified the problem, and it was a problem with their network configuration.
So like a traffic jam.
Basically, yeah, just a
Yeah.
traffic jam, but within their cloud infrastructure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then they deployed a fix and started manually restarting some systems.
Manually restarting?
Yeah.
It's like a server farm the size of a city block that they have
Oh,
to
yeah.
manage.
So it sounds like initially they were pretty optimistic. The article mentions that Microsoft reported their fix reached 98% of affected environments.
Yeah. Initially, they thought it was going to be a quick fix, but
Yeah.
restarting those systems takes a lot longer than they anticipated, especially on such a large scale,
Right. Yeah.
And when you're dealing with something as complex as cloud infrastructure,
Yeah.
even small delays can turn into big problems.
Yeah, absolutely. So beyond just the inconvenience of not being able to send an email, what kind of impact did this have?
Yeah. Think about all the businesses that rely on Teams
Everything.
to communicate and collaborate.
Right.
Every minute that they're down translates to lost productivity, missed deadlines, and potentially even financial losses for these companies.
Yeah. It's easy to forget that all these services that we rely on every day are incredibly complex,
Yeah.
with a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. And a lot of things can go wrong. Yeah. And when one part fails, the whole thing can crash.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
what this really highlights is how vulnerable we are
Yeah.
when critical digital infrastructure fails.
Which begs the question, what can people do to minimize the disruption?
Right.
Like,
Could you have worked offline today?
yeah, could I have done?
Were there alternative ways to communicate?
Like sent a letter,
Right.
like carrier pigeon.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, it seems like having a backup plan is more crucial now than ever before.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us and helping us understand this complex issue.
It was my pleasure.
It's a good reminder that we all need to stay informed and be adaptable, even when technology decides to take an unexpected break.
Especially then.
Stay curious, everyone.